Watch the moment Tory MP Andrew Rosendale furiously confronts Sir Keir Starmer over Office for National Statistics. ONS projections suggesting the population is set to rise exponentially in the coming years. In a frosty PMQ session, Rosendale capitalised on his chance to ask the Prime Minister a question by pointing to unsustainable figures. But stuttering Starmer had no time for the MP's remarks, saying his ire should be directed towards the leader of his own party. In today's video, we will watch and react to this, all whilst going over all of the latest headlines from across the country. But first, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel and join our fast-growing community. Just a quick one to say we do have new One Keir t-shirts available on our website. Go to britishstand.com or check the link in the description. Figures suggested the UK population could reach 72.5 million by mid-2032 because of net migration. The ONS projects a rise driven almost entirely by net migration, with the difference between the number of people arriving and leaving the country estimated to total 4.9 million over the 10-year period. This is compared with the natural change in population, the difference between births and deaths, which is projected to be around zero. The data published on Tuesday says the level of net migration will average 340,000 a year from mid-2028 onwards, lower than current levels. This was brought up at PMQs today. Have a watch of this.
Question, Andrew Rosendale.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Prime Minister should know that my constituents in Romford are shocked, angry and dismayed by the suggestion by the ONS that the population of this country will rise to 72.5 million by 2032. Mr. Speaker, that's 500,000 people a year, which is unsustainable. Who voted for that? And will the government do something to ensure that the population of this country is sustainable going forward? Because there is no mandate for such a colossal increase in immigration in this country.
I think he should talk to his leader. Because net migration went through the roof under the last government, nearly 1 million, quadrupled. And who was cheering it on? Who was cheering it on? The leader of the opposition. His constituents are right to be concerned about the loss of control by the last government. We're taking control. We will bring these numbers down. But the record is absolutely clear, and it sits right there.
That completes Prime Minister's questions. We'll let the front bench change over.
What are your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments. In other news, Rachel Reeves is scrambling to defend Labour's failing economic plans as businesses brace for a downturn under her policies. In a speech at a Siemens plant in Oxfordshire, she admitted the costs of her budget, particularly the £25 billion national insurance hike on employers, but dismissed any meaningful alternatives, ignoring widespread criticism from businesses and economists. Despite acknowledging the consequences on business and beyond, Reeves insisted there was no viable opposition plan, a claim that critics see as an attempt to deflect from Labour's economic mismanagement. She also took a swipe at previous governments, accusing them of lacking courage to prioritise growth. However, the Conservatives hit back, calling her and Keir Starmer the real barriers to growth. A Tory campaign message stated, "The call is coming from inside the House," suggesting Labour's policies are exacerbating, not solving, Britain's economic woes. Her pledge to fight comes at a time when confidence in the UK economy is plummeting. The Confederation of British Industry, CBI, warned that firms expect a significant drop in activity over the next 3 months, with economist Julian Jessop calling it another UK recession signal. The CBI's Alpesh Palasia added that businesses are suffering from weak demand and consumer uncertainty, compounded by Labour's tax hikes and economic policies. While Reeves's announcements received some praise from left-leaning think tanks, this does little to reassure businesses struggling under Labour's plans. With the economy teetering on the brink, Reeves's so-called growth plan looks more like a recipe for stagnation, leaving firms and consumers to bear the brunt of her costly policies. In some other news, a man has been arrested following the vandalism of memorials dedicated to 2 murdered Leeds police officers over the weekend. Black paint was smeared on tributes to PCE in Broadhurst and Sergeant John Speed on Saturday night, and flowers left in PC Broadhurst's honour were found scattered at the site. West Yorkshire Police confirmed that a 56-year-old man from Leeds was taken into custody last night on suspicion of intentionally causing a public nuisance in connection with the incidents. Detective Superintendent Sarah Lambert, Leeds District Head of Crime and Safeguarding, stated, "Both memorial stones have been cleaned and are being fully restored by the Police Memorial Trust, which owns and maintains them." The arrested man remains in custody, and detectives from Leeds District CID are continuing their investigation. "We appreciate everyone who has come forward with information or shared messages of support, recognizing the significance of this incident. The vandalized memorials honor 2 officers who lost their lives in the line of duty. PC Broadhurst, 34, was shot in the head and chest by former US Marine David Bieber on Boxing Day 2003 in the Fernville area of Leeds while conducting checks on a suspected stolen car with 2 colleagues who survived the attack. Sergeant Speed, 39, was shot dead near Leeds Minster in 1984 during a routine check on 2 suspicious men. He was posthumously awarded the Queen's Commendation for brave conduct. Lastly, a woman has been jailed for 18 months after stealing £48,000 worth of cosmetics from Tesco stores across the UK as part of a criminal gang. Over several months, she travelled from store to store, stealing thousands of pounds worth of stock in a single day, primarily cosmetics and healthcare items. Her largest single theft was valued at over £3,000, and in total, she was linked to 42 separate offences. The scale of this crime was staggering. Between April and September 2024, she targeted Tesco locations in 17 different police force areas. Many of the offences took place in July alone, accounting for nearly £16,000 of stolen goods. Her crime spree finally came to an end in October when she entered a Tesco store in Kings Lynn. A vigilant security guard recognised her and police quickly intervened. Working alongside Tesco, officers reviewed CCTV footage, tracking her movements and uncovering the full extent of her crimes. While in custody, she admitted to additional offences through Op Converter, a program designed to encourage criminals to confess to other unsolved crimes. This led to the discovery of another 26 thefts, amounting to an additional £32,000 in stolen goods. Last Friday, she was sentenced at Norwich Crown Court. Police investigators emphasised how long she had been on their radar and praised the security guard who helped bring her to justice. They also highlighted the crucial role of Tesco in analysing CCTV and sharing intelligence across stores. This case sends a clear message: large-scale shoplifting will not go unpunished. With businesses already under pressure, crimes like these have serious consequences, not just for retailers but for consumers and communities as well. Norfolk Police and Tesco have demonstrated that cooperation and vigilance can bring criminals to justice, no matter how far they try to run. So, what are your thoughts on what we discussed in today's video? Let me know down in the comments. That brings us to the end of today's video. Hit the like and subscribe button for more British content. Oh, and don't forget to get your t-shirts at BritishStand.com. Link is in the description.